shining through me.
Yeah. Shining through me, yeah. Shining through me, yeah. I feel the Spirit of God shining through me, yeah. Shining through me. I feel the Spirit of God shining through me, shining through me, yeah. I feel the Spirit of God shining through me. Shining through me, shine, 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 shining through me, shining through me, shine, 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 shining through me, shining through me. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
Hey, we welcome you to the Sunday celebration at Unity of Sacramento. So glad you're here today. You know, we are we are practical. Trust me on that. We're a positive path for spiritual living, and we're proud affiliates of Unity Worldwide Ministries, the Association for Global New Thought, and the Association of Agape Communities. How about that? Now, whether this is the first time you've been here, you come occasionally, or this is your first time, or you've been here a long time, no matter who you are, or where you're from, who you love, or how you vote, when you are here, you are home. And that includes our live streamers. Let's welcome our live streamers today. Good morning, good morning. And now, you know, I feel like there was a lot of energy from the choir, but we need energy from you. So we're going to get up, we're going to sing This Little Light of Mine, and move up, circulate around, move the love through the room, and we'd like to have that today. Here we go. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
That love
This
shine.
little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
Oh, it's a
This little light of mine,
Appreciate you.
I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it
All right, now
shine.
come on back. There's more to the service. You got to get back in your chairs now. We can do it.
Light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
Oh, man, we're so glad you're here today. You know, in case you didn't know, I am not Reverend Kevin Cottrell Ross, nor am I Reverend Eric Ovid Donaldson. We'll hear just a little bit later on what's cooking with him today. It's pretty special stuff. Trust me on this. So here at Unity of Sacramento, we have a big vision. Our vision talks about where we are going. Join me. It's on the screen behind me. Join me now. Centered in God, we co-create a world of peace, prosperity, and unconditional love for all. And we mean it. We're serious about that. And to show you how serious we are, we have a way of going about it that is shown in our mission statement. Can you say that with me too, please? We empower people to be a force for good in the world by awakening their divine nature. And we are about that right now. We also have things that we do on a regular basis, like, for example, on the first Sunday of every month, we celebrate birthdays. So if you have a June birthday, please stand up. This is your time. All right, here we go. And by the way, my birthday is June 14th. I'm a June boy, too. Oh, yes. Oh, the Geminis are in the house. I see it.
Birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya.
All right. Don't tell Rev that April is not the most important month of the year. It happens to be June. I'm just telling you right out. And it's not October either, Revy. Just want you to know. Okay. Oh, we're going to switch gears here, and we're just going to take a deep breath as we begin now to open our prayer field. We always begin in prayer at Unity of Sacramento. That's the bedrock. That's the bedrock of our practicing the presence. And so take a moment now to invite into your consciousness and into this prayer field anyone that you know or may be related to who needs to be held in prayer. You can speak their name out loud, live streamers, you can put their name in the chat room. But what we're doing is we're establishing consciousness. So just take a breath and let it go. We know that when we pray collectively, it's a powerful force, the most powerful force in the universe. And we thank you, God, for the opportunity to be in this field today. And we have a song that we sing that will just take us right there. It's called Our Thoughts, Our Prayers. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Be careful what you're saying.
Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always
And every thought becomes a prayer. And so as we continue through the service, we hold the field open. If someone comes to mind who you didn't think of right off the bat, bring them into the consciousness, speak their name. It's a wonderful way. It's a wonderful way to demonstrate how much we love to include at Unity of Sacramento. And to help us along that way, we'll now have a centering moment, our breathing space meditation by our very own David Cook. So today's reading is from our devotional guide, Breathing Space, a 52-week meditation journey for centered, soulful, and successful living, created by our very own dynamic duo of Reverend Kevin Cottrell Ross and Reverend Eric Ovid Donaldson. If you joined us on YouTube or Zoom last week, the talk title was The Ode to Joy. It was joyful, joyful. And today we're going to continue to practice expressing our joy as we consider our mastery. So begin with this affirmation. It's on the screen behind me. No, it's not. I'll say it and you'll follow me. I'll say it once and then you can follow behind. I experience the full benefit of my gifts and talents as I operate them with confidence and mastery. Together, I experience the full benefit of my gifts and talents as I operate them with confidence and mastery. I experience the full benefit of my gifts and talents as I operate them with confidence and mastery. And now that you've mastered it, I experience the full benefit of my gifts and talents as I operate them with confidence and mastery. You get an A for today. So now let's prepare ourselves for a time of connection with the source by turning within. And if you're new to this community or new to this practice, we're engaging in our unity principle of practicing the presence of God, the presence of Spirit, the presence of presence. And you begin by bringing your awareness into your body with a deep breath. And you're going to breathe in again and then let it go with a ah. So take your time. And moving deeper into your centering experience, breathe in this time into your heart space, where you allow yourself to be vulnerable as you're willing to be, to prepare the space to be in conscious connection with your understanding of God and the God of your understanding. And pausing in this very moment to witness what it means to be courageously curious as you listen to today's reading. And it begins with a quote from the classic poem Invictus by William Ernest Henley. He says, "It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul." There exists just in there in the pit of the stomach a knowingness, a certainty, an immovable grip of assurance that we all recognize when we are operating in an area of our mastery. You know the feeling. Whether it be the grandmother in the kitchen making her famous peach cobbler, or the doctor in the operating room leading life-saving surgery, or the musical director of a Broadway play or a Unity of Sacramento choir waving her hands conducting the orchestra, or the Olympic figure skater entertaining the world with death-defying feats. Or how about the server at the busy restaurant wowing customers with exceptional hospitality? Mastery is a dance of collaboration that fuses our gifts, skills, and talents with passion, preparation, discipline, and that mystical moment in time. As we tap into the deep dimensions of ourselves that unlock our artistry, creativity, ingenuity, and our inner genius, we employ these gifts in service to the world. We have permission to shine. So now, as we prepare to enter the silence, consider this week's reflection question. What is your zone of mastery? And what part of the world shines more brightly because of it? And now listening in the silence. And allow your breathing now to return your awareness from the inner and to the outer. In the revealing word, Charles Fillmore has this to say about mastery and dominion. We demonstrate mastery and dominion by persistently thinking thoughts of power and strength in the absolute principle of truth and through the I am, establishing them in our own consciousness. Not just occasionally, not just sometimes, but persistently, and knowing that it's not necessary nor possible to demonstrate mastery over everything. Rather, choose your zone of mastery and persistently direct your thoughts until they are firmly established in your own consciousness. You are the master of your fate. You are the captain of your soul. How will you demonstrate your shining light today? I wish you peace, love, and joy in abundance. And remember to breathe.
God's command, yeah. And God's not some wizard.
like living in Neverland. But God is creator, omnipotent, the source and the air that we breathe. 'Cause God is the absolute truth, unfolding inside of me.
God is the
Yeah, unfolding. Yeah, absolute truth. Yeah, limited, conditional. Yeah. God is not some image with long hair, a beard and blue eyes, no. And God's not some angry judge raining fire from the sky. But God is compassion, peace and joy. God's love can heal the world. 'Cause God is the absolute truth, unfolding inside of me. Yeah, 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 unchangeable.
Expressions of Unity Choir. Awesome. Under the direction of Redalia Kilson. Thank you, Redalia. Chakra, the fellows are on fire today. Chet, thank you for your musical direction. And in case you didn't catch it, that was a song written by Reverend Charles Cooper, especially for Ida Overton. Thank you, Charles. Thank you, Ida. Now, I told you a little earlier today that we will let you know what's happening with the Revs. We have a little video to tell you about that.
Hello, beloved community. I'm here with our Rev. Kevin Cottrell Ross. As you can see, he is in his regalia as he has recently completed his studies at Harvard Divinity School. Congratulations.
Thank you, Brother. Thank you, Brother.
Yes, just a few quick questions so that everybody is in the know. You've just spent the last 9 months in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and received your degree. What degree did you receive specifically?
So I just received from Harvard Divinity School the Master of Religion and Public Life degree. And that particular degree program helps us to understand the power that religion has for either being a destructive force in our world or being a force for good in the world. And so it was an incredible program. And I was honored to be there, and I'm grateful for all the support from our spiritual community to help me cross that finish line. It was a very important step.
Yes, and so exciting to see you walk that stage.
I'm so glad you came. Rev E was there to be a good representative of our Unity of Sacramento community, and you know he's always there cheering me on and lifting me up. So thank you for coming and always being there.
We love you, Rev, and just continue to represent Unity of Sacramento in such magnificent ways. But I really want to ask a question that's on everyone's minds. Okay, you're done. Now what? What's next?
Well, what's next is a lot. First of all, once again, I want to acknowledge our spiritual community for all of the love and support that allowed me to engage in this very powerful program. And if I must say so myself, be a force for good at Harvard Divinity School and at Harvard University. I just want you to know that Harvard didn't want to let me go so fast. I'll just put it like that. And so we're in conversation about ways that we can make an impact at Harvard University on a continued basis. So I just want you to know that.
That's good. It sounds like there's some collaboration in the mix.
There's something happening, and we're in prayer about how we can build a bridge from Unity of Sacramento to Harvard University, because they like the work that we're doing.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Wow.
But in the immediate future, I need some time with the family, and so the Ross family, Anita and Angelina and Camila and Caden and Sanchez, all of us need a little time to regroup. And so after the kids get out of school, we're going to get some time and do some family vacation and do some time, just reintegration as a family and get that time together. So we'll have some time there. And then you and I will do some important planning work that will help me to be brought up to speed on all that's been going on and really hear from you, as I've asked you to do, to get a pulse of what's happening in the community. So I'll get a chance to just kind of get reintegrated to the pulse and the speed of our community, and do some important planning, and then rejoin with all of you on July 14th. Is that correct?
It's the 16th.
July 16th, Sunday, July 16th, where we'll have our homecoming Sunday, and we'll get a chance to all celebrate together all of these various accomplishments, and just it'd be just good to be back in the on the soil, you know, back home. So,
Yeah, and we all miss you, Rev. I mean, people are coming up to me and saying, "Okay, is he going to be in church on Sunday?" I mean, they really are looking forward to seeing you and congratulating you and being with you. But I remember going to school years ago, and you know, I had a lot of things in my dorm room that I had to bring back to the household. So I imagine you have some things that you have to bring cross country, and there's some things that there's a transition period that has to take place.
That's exactly it. So I wasn't on vacation. I was in a very rigorous master program at Harvard University, and so I do need to regroup after that just to get myself together. And then we're here in Atlanta, Georgia, right now because I was a recipient of an honorary doctorate here in Atlanta, Georgia. And so it's been this sort of wave of celebration. But what I do know that I need from all of you is a little bit more time so that I can reconnect to my family, really shake off that very rigorous and demanding experience that I just came from, but reconnect with home a little bit, take my family on some vacation, get bossed around by the kids and Anita a little bit, and then get back in the saddle by being brought up to speed from Rev E, and then we'll be rocking and rolling. And I want you to know that there are some exciting things coming to Unity, because as you know, I always bring something home. So I'm bringing some beautiful things home from Harvard your way. I'm also, I'm going to save some of the other surprises, but just get ready. If I went to school, you're going to school, we're all going to school, so that we can all be a greater force for good in the world.
So you heard it here first, everyone. And what I really want you to hear is July 16th. Save that date. Let's all come together. This gives us some time to get things together the way that we do it, Unity of Sacramento style. And we'll make certain that this homecoming for Rev Kev, this coming home from Harvard, is one of the best and the greatest that anyone has ever seen. So, you know, I mean, it's just the opportunity of a lifetime to not only welcome our beloved Rev Kev back, but to also get caught up on all of the things that have taken place in these 9 months or so that he was away in his studies. And so we're going to catch everybody up on July 16th. You want to be at the church on that day, and we'll fill you in on all the things that we're going to need from everybody in our community. It's going to be a fun and festive time. Food, everything. You know, food for me is a good thing, but food and so much more.
He never misses a meal. I don't care. In 30-something years, he's never missed a meal. But we're gonna have a great time, and I have so much to share when I come home. So, and let's get ready. Let's get ready to get down to work too, because we've got great work to do in the world. We are indeed needed. I love you, miss you, and I'm holding hugs on reserve for every single one of you. Look forward to being with you really soon. Peace.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you soon.
And now you know. All right. So the reason I wanted to come up here one more time is because I'd like to introduce our guest speaker today. And I realized when I was thinking about this that because of the unique position that this person holds, we maybe take her for granted sometimes, believe it or not, because we know her, right? We see her every week, and we know how important she is to this community. But I want to share with you what would be said if she were at an event not at Unity of Sacramento to people who have never heard of her before. So Anita Ross is coined the self-love expert because she's on a mission to empower millions of people to awaken to their worth, love themselves fully, and ultimately for the life of their dreams. She teaches people the breakthrough principles and practices she's used to achieve unconditional self-love. Her background as an engineer in corporate America, an entrepreneur, and founder of the not-for-profit organization, and as a life coach, all add to the rich experience she brings to her books, talks, and retreats. And I want to add that she is a mother extraordinaire. So thank you so much. Please welcome to the platform, Anita Ross.
All right, all right. Can you all hear me? Good morning, Unity of Sacramento. Give it up for Platform Assistant Extraordinaire, David Cook. All right, I'm gonna get situated here. It's so good to see everybody, all the beautiful faces. The choir is on fire today. Chakra's on fire. Chet, thank you for all that you do. Redalia, thank you for everything that you do. Give it up for them, everybody. All right, happy Pride Month. Yay, I don't need these, thank goodness. Happy Pride Month. We are kicking off this month powerfully. We have each Sunday we're gonna acknowledge a person in the movement, the LGBTQ plus movement. And I got to pick today's, who is one of my all-time favorite people, Ebony Harper. Give it up for Ebony. I'll get to you in a second. I'm going to read a little bit about her. Ebony Ava Harper is a Black trans woman and human rights activist dedicated to fighting for marginalized communities. Born in Prince George's County, Maryland, to a Jamaican family, as a baby, her family relocated to Los Angeles, where she began her journey as a trans activist, advocating for the intersectionality between racial and transgender identities. With a background in community-based outreach, Ebony has worked tirelessly to support homeless youth and combat human trafficking at organizations like Children of the Night. Later, Ebony joined the Gender Health Center in Sacramento as the PrEP coordinator, furthering her commitment to dismantling systems of oppression, advocating for health, equity, and promoting social justice. In 2019, she founded California Transcends, a statewide initiative that focuses on the health and well-being of transgender individuals. Ebony's impactful work has earned her recognition, including being the first trans person to host the state capitol tree lighting ceremony in 2019, and receiving the Stonewall for Freedoms Award. As an influential speaker and facilitator, Ebony has shared her expertise at the Global Alliance for Banking on Values Summit and contributed articles to publications like Forbes. Give it up. She has been featured on NBC and other media outlets, amplifying her message of equality and inclusivity. Additionally, Ebony serves on the board of the Transgender Law Center, contributing to the advancement of transgender rights. All that sounds amazing, but I just gotta tell you, she's the truth. Yes. She is one of the most powerful people that I know who is willing to literally put her body on the line for trans rights. Please give it up to one of my favorite people, Ebony Ava Harper. Thank you for being here. All right. I guess I got to talk about something today. So a little while ago, a very short while ago, I was discussing with the Revs what I was going to talk about today. And so we were coming up with some ideas, and I said, you know what? Turns out I was the first speaker in the Courage to Shine series at the beginning of this whole journey when Rev Kev left for Harvard. And I was like, well, why don't I talk about kind of the lessons I've learned, the challenges and triumphs over the past year. And they were like, I like that direction. And then the next day, Rev Kev says, well, why don't you also draw from the book that I purchased you way back yonder at the beginning of the year, The Light We Carry by Michelle Obama. And I was on a really busy day, so I was like, thumbs up. I was cracking up that he thought I could complete a book this year. I was like, okay. So all week, I literally was like, I'm at the dentist's office reading. I'm at award ceremonies in between awards. I'm like, and I got it done. And I was really excited to know that not only is it quite an easy read and very refreshing, but it's also very much aligned with the self-love work that I teach and core unity principles. So I'm excited to share a little bit
today. So today's talk is entitled The Light We Carry, Finding a Way Out of No Way, which certainly describes the moments throughout this year that I've had while Rev Kev was away. But I'm going to start with the broader worldly context and then drill down to aspects of my personal journey. So I like to call her First Lady Obama, so I'm just going to go with that. First Lady Obama is known for the saying, when they go low, we go high. And every time I think of this saying, I literally think, when there's hate, challenge, or adversity, choose love. That's what I hear. And I'm known for saying love is everything. I'm known for believing that love is everything, and it is. And God is love. One thing that I know without a doubt is that God has been with me through my entire life journey, and that was no different this past year. Every time I have chosen love over anything else, like fear, doubt, desperation, worry, yeah, you name it, pick your poison, I become abundantly aware of the God in me, the God around me, and the God that enfolds me. The Revealing Word by Charles Fillmore says, love is the great harmonizer and healer. Whoever calls on God as Holy Spirit for healing is calling on divine love. Divine love will bring your own to you. It will adjust all misunderstandings and make your life and affairs healthy, happy, harmonious, and free. That is all true, and it sounds great. But it's not always easy to choose love. I'm going to read from page 274. Now I do need glasses, reading glasses. That's a thing that happened this year. Let's get it right here. All right, so she says, but wait, have you seen the world lately? How much worse can things get? After George Floyd died with a police officer's knee on his neck on a Minneapolis street corner in May 2020, people wrote me asking whether going high was really the correct response. After the Capitol building was marauded, after Republican officials continued to support false and undermining claims about our election, they wondered something similar. The provocations are endless. We've seen more than 1 million Americans die in a pandemic that highlights every disparity in our culture. The Taliban has banned girls going to school in Afghanistan. In the United States, our own leaders have moved to criminalize abortion while communities are routinely devastated by gun violence and hate crime. Trans rights, gay rights, voting rights, women's rights all remain under attack. And anytime there's another injustice, another round of brutality, another incident of failed leadership, corruption, or violation of rights, I get letters and emails that pose some form of this same question. Are we still supposed to go high? She says yes, and I say yes. But don't worry, she gives us lots of good guidance on how to do that. So first she says we are to decode fear. We are to remove the mystery out of it and dive deep into what's really underneath our fear. Most of the time it's the introduction of something new, or the introduction of some sort of change, or something that's like so big that we don't know whether we'll get through it. She talks about when her husband asked her about running for president. He told her if she said no, this whole thing gets shut down. And when Rev Kev was asking to leave for Harvard, it was a similar situation. At first, it just seemed really big and scary. I think I talked about that at another talk that I gave. But then I started doing the inner work. I started processing. I started saying things out loud that I could be scared of, like, what if we don't make it through? What if our relationship can't make it through this year? What if the kids don't understand why he went away? What if I can't do this? Then I started like, well, how do you sound? You certainly don't sound steeped in spiritual principle. You certainly don't sound steeped in the truth versus the facts, the appearances, right? And so after, Rev Deborah Johnson spoke, let's give it up for Rev Deborah, she was one of our Courage to Shine speakers, and she said, doubt is separation from what we know. So then I started thinking about, what do I know? I know that I want to support my husband's dreams. I know that we will always do what's best for our 3 children. And I know that I can do this. I'm that powerful, right? So people felt like it was a big ask for Rev Kev to say, can you hold it down here? And yeah, it was. But the thing that people also don't realize is that many years ago, when I wanted to venture off from engineering and then we found out we were pregnant, I really wanted to raise the children the way I really wanted to raise them since birth. And so he took on the role of supporting the family so I could do that and navigate my own purpose-filled career. So we do this for each other, and I just want to make sure that while it seems like a societal norm, the way we have it set up, it was an intentional agreement that he and I made. And it is evolving, of course, as they get older, the children get older. But we really both wanted to have a true home, and we really wanted to have dreamy, purpose-filled careers. If that ain't dreamy, I don't know what it is, right? Let's give it up for Rev Kev. So decoding the fears means just process your emotions and find your way to the truth, and then fear becomes powerless. Yeah? She then talks about the power of small. She says that the big stuff becomes easier to handle when you deliberately put something small alongside it. She recommends working on something small that not only soothes you, but that you can really bring home. Like, yeah, I did that. She goes on to say, when my brain apprehends nothing but monolithic catastrophe and doom, when I feel paralyzed by not enoughness, I pick up the knitting needles. She took on knitting. At the start of the school year, when Rev Kev was headed off, the task at hand for me was quite huge. Not only because of duties as a mom, a working mom, but also because of this greater context. There are times when I feel like the world is crashing down around us, and I'm here trying to raise 3 little humans. And it's big. The reality is I didn't even realize how big my responsibilities were, from taking one child to her new high school and her making the transition from private school to public school and taking on cheerleading and continuing to dance. And another child getting a full scholarship to take as many dance classes as she wanted all year, and she did. And Kaden, our youngest, deciding to venture off into JV basketball, street hockey, and a newly budding social life. Add to that some big work goals that I had, and it all quickly seemed insurmountable. So I've been putting in the inner work for many years. I talk to you all the time about how I work out, and I come to Unity, and I release a lot here, and I eat a lot of comfort food for balance, of course, and I have lots of call a friend lifelines. I have done that very many times. But this unprecedented set of circumstances called for something new. And now as I was reading about the power of small, I realized for me that was walking our dog, Sanchez. You see, at the beginning of the year, we were all trying to catch our bearings. We were like, how am I going to get this one over here and that one over there and be in 2 places at once and ensure that the children have healthy, thriving social lives, which I find particularly important post-pandemic, keep up with work goals, current contracts, and actually have something nourishing in their bodies. How am I going to do this? So walking the dog was like not even on our radar. He has his little doggy door, and we get to the walk if we get to the walk. And it wasn't until he had a little health challenge that we realized he needed more exercise. So then I was on it. Then I was like, all right, I'm going to walk him 1.5 miles in the morning. That would be my pre-workout, and I had it all set up. I did a midday workout. A midday walk, and then the kids would get the early evening walk. And here's the thing. When I was on the walks, I could literally feel myself tense up. Oh my God, what if Kaden forgot his lunch? What if I'm missing a coaching session? What if I didn't get this right? What if I have to take 2 of them and pick this one up and do it? And I could feel it in my body, and anxiety. And I'll just breathe, roll my shoulders back, and be like, Anita, you allocated this time to walk the dog. Enjoy it. Be fully present. Watch the blades of grass blowing in the wind. Let Sanchez sniff every single blade of grass he wants to, and he certainly does. But it brought to mind, like, all our needs are met as a family. We're all safe. And at the bottom line, just pipe it down, Anita. But what are other people going through who don't have that? And it really just brought things in perspective. So while walking the dog might seem like no big deal, for me it was that small thing that I deliberately put alongside the big thing so that I could stay grounded in love. Next, Michelle Obama says to start kind. Now, here at Unity, we got that on lock. If you came in here without having a happy hello or even a hug, you came in through a side door that we don't know about. I think we've got kindness on lock here, right? We've got love on lock. But what she talks about in this chapter is she talks about a friend of hers husband who every morning looks in the mirror and says, "Hey, buddy." She's talking about self-love. She's talking about being kind to ourselves, extending love to ourselves. We are our highest bar setters and our harshest critics when we don't meet it. So I don't pretend to have gotten every decision right this year. I have had apologies to make to myself, apologies to my children to make, apologies to my husband, friends, and colleagues. But I've also forgiven myself. If I have had any negative thinking, I work on it immediately to release it. Because if I don't, it impedes me. And if I didn't and hadn't, there would have been no way to find a way through this year. First Lady Obama says to box out our inner critics and push our gladness to the forefront and give ourselves some speck of kindness each day, even when it's hard to. Along those lines, she talks about being seen. Rewriting the story of not mattering takes both courage and persistence. It's not something that you conquer in 1, 2, or even a dozen times. It takes work to get yourself out of other people's mirrors. Let me say that again, because I think that's one of my favorite lines of the book. It takes work to get yourself out of other people's mirrors. It takes practice to keep the right messages in your head. And I say, yes, it does. It takes a lot of persistence and courage, both in the context of our own thoughts and beliefs about ourselves, but also in this greater context of society. She goes on to say, it is also helpful to acknowledge what makes this work so difficult. We are tasked with trying to rewrite our own script over layers and layers of already written ones. She's referring to the deep-rooted racism and discrimination that is deeply embedded in our society. One of the new projects that I worked on this year was a workshop series for men and for women, and then we had a co-ed. So we were doing these workshops for the men group, workshop for the women group, and then we did a co-ed session, which that was the most liveliest. We came back together because we were talking about intimate relationships and how self-love plays a role. But at one of the workshops in the men's group, I was talking about how important it is to share yourself authentically in intimate relationships, into me you see, right? So like for real, uninfluenced but by what I call less than messages. So he was grappling with this idea of being authentic and not being affected by these messages. He explained to us, after raising his hand, it was virtual, so I see the little hand raised. He explained to us that being a black man in America there's so many experiences that are so deep-rooted, he has trouble deciphering between what is influencing his self-concept and what is actually authentic. And who am I to take away his experience at all? So we went in. It was so powerful. He was so courageous. And his willingness to share his truth got everybody involved. And that's the thing. Sometimes we're holding back some parts of ourselves. And when we share of ourselves fully, when we aren't afraid to raise our hand when we feel unseen, then it changes the world. It helps others. First Lady Obama also says to have your kitchen table. What does that mean? That's her group of friends, her core group of friends. She says, Barack and I have never tried to be each other's everything in life. To single-handedly shoulder the entire load of care that each of us requires, we have other forms of emotional rescue and relief. We are carried by a wide array of friendships. Now, you all know that's the truth. I will never be Rev Eric, his bestie, and I'll never be Attorney Burvey Power, his other bestie. But the truth is, this past year, I could not have done it. I leaned in on my friends. And I also leaned in on making new friends. There's nothing like trying to figure out how to get one child to one place and another child to another place that kicks you, go make a friend. What's your friend's parent's name? And I've made such rich friendships with parents of their friends, and I'm so grateful. It's just made the year really fun, very enriching, very lovely. So I just want to take this moment to everyone who has given a Ross kid a ride, everyone who has taken them after school, taken them in when I couldn't get to them in time, attended a school function, a basketball game, sent a DoorDash gift card, gave their favorite simple recipes, frozen meal deliveries, Candy and David. bringing dinner over to break bread together, rooting me on from the sidelines every Sunday, talking to me, pulling me aside, and asking how I'm doing. Please know that I appreciate all love and all the support. And you have very much been a part of me getting through this year. So she closes the book on a very powerful chapter called Be Aware of the Armor You Wear. Be aware of the armor you wear. She says, I know from experience that our armor can often serve us, but I also believe that in many instances it can be defeating, or at least exhausting, walking around wearing too much of it, being too defensive, too prepared for combat, and it'll slow you down. I hear from first ladies of churches all the time who are trying to strike the balance of how much they share of themselves and how much they wear their armor, right? How much they have that defense or how much they put on their outside appearance. My advice is always the same. Be authentic. It doesn't mean share everything. It actually just means draw from that deep place within you that's rooted in love. And you will find the answer every time on how to show up. I can truly say that there have been some rough times this past year. Moments like when my knee has felt like it's going to explode waiting on a red light because I've literally been holding the gas pedal or brake pedal for the 11th pickup or drop off for the day. Still working on that. Moments when I've wondered desperately if I can actually truly keep my children safe. Moments like witnessing a client turned friend become unhoused. Listening to a client's story riddled with trauma, self-loathe, despair, but also victory. So horrific and inspiring that all I could do was let out a big cry once I left that session. Aging parents who live on the other side of this nation. Gut-wrenching losses to suicide and homicide. Dear friends moving through challenging medical diagnoses. Moments when Rev Kev and I were not seeing eye to eye and the distance seemed to be taking a toll. Moments when I've had to look into my child's face. Amongst the confusion of the world and the quasi-normalcy of our family situation and assure them that I see them, that they are loved unconditionally, and that everything will be okay despite appearances. Moments where no book I've read, no note I've taken, no quote I've written, no Instagram reel I've seen, no sermon I've heard, not one piece of academia was going to provide me with the answer to who do I get to be for my child so I can get through to them. It's been hard. And those who I've reached out to know that my armor has been down. But there's something that has really stood out for me through it all. There's been this inner peace that has kept me afloat. Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 6 says, Be strong and courageous. Do not fear or be in dread of them, for it is the Lord your God who goes with you. He will not leave you nor forsake you. It's that intangible thing within us that opens us up and allows us to lean in deeply on love, that very love that strengthens us, the very love that fuels us. When the world is worlding, when life is lifing, and when children are teening. Suddenly, then the words come, the divine idea has come, the strength that has come to address any and all situations at hand arrives. Again, like the revealing word said, divine love will bring your own to you. It will adjust all misunderstandings and make your life and affairs healthy, happy, harmonious, and free. It has been a miraculous journey this year. And I'm always saying that it's not just about the results, it's also about the journey, but I sure do enjoy some extraordinary results. Like the smile on my husband's face when he graduated from Harvard. Every ceremony, there were lots of them, that we went to, he had this smile. It was different. It was different. It was beautiful. It made all of this so worth it. It's like Angelina receiving the Coach's Choice Future All-American and High GPA awards in cheer. Camila back there being promoted to point class, meeting one of her dance idols as she fitted her for her new point shoes and making it onto the competitive dance team. Kaden, who got gold honor roll all year round medal, student athlete of the year, most improved on the JV basketball team, and 4 other awards. And here's one of the most special ones as well. When I went to Boston, and I didn't know all the people who were going to come support Rev. And it turns out his goddaughter, who is like a longtime mentee of ours, I hadn't seen her in over 15 years. Her name is Chloe. And she came and she saw me, and we just hugged, and tears just immediately came down. And from that point, it's like we never missed a beat. She was filling me in. She's married now. She's a lawyer now. And I'm like, it's so great. And then she went back to D.C. where she lives, and I checked in on her, and we're texting. And she says, also, kind of unrelated, but I wanted to say the kids are so great, and you're doing such a great job. It was empowering to see your agility, nimbleness, and communication style with them. You're a superwoman. So yes, there are times when we are abundantly aware of the light we carry, when someone acknowledges our shine, when we accomplish big things like Harvard degrees, awards, accomplishing our goals. But we're also shining our lights when we share our story, even when it's hard or painful. We're also shining our lights when we strike up a conversation with someone we don't know, when we get out of an abusive relationship or a toxic work environment, when we don't go back to drugs or alcohol, when we say no so that we can rest instead, when we ask for help, when we let out the big ugly cry. The light we carry is love. The way out of no way is love. So do the inner work it takes to choose love, because after all, love is love. Thank you.
I serve today, oh Lord. Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. How can I serve today, sweet Spirit? How can I serve today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. Who needs my love today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. Who needs my love today, sweet Spirit? Who needs my love today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go.
Where must I share today, sweet Spirit?
Where must I share today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. Where must I share today, sweet Spirit? Where must I share today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I Expressions of Unity Choir, everybody. Song by Ricky Byers. Once again for Chakra, under the direction of Chet Schwalik, Barry, Rob, Jeff. What a great group. What a fine day we're having today. Oh my goodness. And how about First Lady Anita, huh? Was that a powerful message today? Thank you so much for being here, Ebony. We appreciate that as well. So glad to have you here. Have you been served today? Have you gotten something out of today's messages? Well, we come to the time now where it's your opportunity. How can I give today, oh sweet Spirit? And this is how. Can we have the video, please?
Visit our website at www.unityofsacramento.com. Right there at the top of the front page, you will see a donation button. Click there to visit our safe and secure push pay portal. Another easy way to give is through our Unity of Sacramento app. Download the app on your smartphone or tablet, and on the front page, look toward the bottom of the page for your giving heart, which will also take you to our push pay portal. You can also write us. Send your letters to Unity of Sacramento, 9249 Folsom Boulevard, Sacramento, California, 95826. And of course, you can always make your donation by using Venmo or Cash App, as seen on your screen.
Hey, you know, that guy's got a pretty good voice. We should see about having him come on a regular basis. What do you think? I think that'd be really great. All right, so we know that the Lord loves a joyful giver, so take your offering, or however you're contributing. Live streamers, this is for you too. And repeat with me. Divine love in and through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Amen, and thank you, God. Ushers, please come forward. And while they're doing that, oh, Deb, you're being an usher today. We'll wait. So, okay, I'm going to do something here that I really probably shouldn't do, but I'm going to do it anyway. So we were talking about, Anita and Deb and I were talking about the service today and the parts that I could play and so on and so forth. And they joked and they said, oh, you're going to do everything today. I said, no, I'm not going to do everything. I'm not going to do the announcements. But just because they challenged me, I'll show you what I told them. I know. And somewhere remotely, Revy and Rev Kev are saying, so what's the big deal, David? Happens every week. Anyway, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You're welcome. Thank you. All right. So how about I think we should have a little more singing, because Deb's going to come do the announcements, but she's not quite finished yet, so thank you. You can join in.
Time I come up here? Good morning, everyone. Whew. So, before I get into the announcements, I just want to tell you how grateful I am for the folks who showed up yesterday for Hands-On Unity Day. Mark your calendars, first Saturday of every month. Truly, we can't keep this place up. We cannot get the special projects done without these wonderful souls that show up sometimes weekly and for sure on Hands-On Unity Day, because it's always a really big day. And so it just means so much. I want to shout out a few folks, and once I'm done with the names, let's let them know how appreciated they are and maybe shake their hand, give them a hug, give them an attaboy or something after service, okay? So yesterday, who showed up? Lonnie Seiler, Carla Ruiz, Deanna Kiger, Melody McCoy, Drina Rosa, Arvern Lofton, Jamar Turner, Jazz Dexter, Linda Bean, Rod Hunt, Brenda Renfro, Dr. Carl and Eladrian Mack, Mardell Moreno, Lasiah Springs, Ms. Donnie Machin, Adrian Hunt, and I hope I didn't miss anybody. That's the hard part if you start mentioning names. Yeah, I hope I didn't miss anybody. Thank you so much. And I have to tell you, please give Lonnie an extra big hug today, because not only did she show up bright and early for Hands-On Unity Day, but she stayed with me to help host an event until the wee hours of the morning, and she's here today doing what she always does. So thank you so much. That's right. Our volunteers are the heartbeat of this place. So on June 28th, speaking of volunteering, we're starting one of our most successful fundraisers, our fireworks booth. So we have signups available right now to volunteer in the booth. Check out the slip you were handed when you walk in today. Scan the QR code or use the link to volunteer. You can choose your shift. And I can tell you, I've worked in the booth the past few years, and it's really, really a fun time. It does not feel like work when you're there, and it's such a great opportunity to get to know people that maybe you don't spend a lot of time with during Sundays or outside of church. So help us out. You'll have fun, and you'll help the congregation as well. We have a special update about our beloved Voices of Unity. They're going, oh no, what is it? They are the opening act for Concert in the Park at William Lamb Park. So they'll be singing Lift Every Voice and Sing, and Rev Charles' medley of Shine and We Come From Greatness. So please come out and support and enjoy yourselves on Saturday, June 17th at 11 a.m. And I know they would love to see some familiar faces, so I hope to see you all there. And Grad Sunday is next Sunday. Have you sent in your name, a photo, your graduation or promotion details into the office? Please note that you must have your information turned in by tonight at 5 p.m. in order for us to be prepared for next Sunday. And so make sure and get it in. We want to recognize you. And speaking of graduation, did you catch the graduation ceremony for the Harvard grads and our own Rev Kev? Congratulations, Rev Kev. We're proud, proud, proud. And so on July 16th, we'll celebrate here with Rev Kev and the whole Ross family. Mark your calendars and stay tuned for more details. It's going to be a blast. And Father's Day is coming up on June 18th. We have a lot to celebrate. Please send your photos. We got a lot of sending in photos lately into the office by next Sunday so we can celebrate the special fathers and father figures in our lives. So we're all aware of the seriousness of our unhoused situation around the country and here in our area. Would you like to be able to do something to help, but not sure what? So our friend Hazel Watson and all of our friends at Sacramento ACT are forming a new group to address the needs of the unhoused population. They're expert at organizing, and they plan to take on one problem at a time instead of trying to conquer the whole mountain at once. If you are interested or even curious how this might work, there's a sign-up sheet in the lobby to receive more information. And our audio-visual team is looking for camera operators. We have such a superb team, and Tyrone's ministry with our youth is just phenomenal. So right now, though, we have a need for more adults on the team. The amount of commitment would be up to you. One Sunday a month, every other, or maybe you're just interested in being a backup. Training is provided. If you're interested, please see Tyrone Thornton or Marsha Watson or Rev Eric when he gets back. And you can also sign up in the lobby and someone will contact you. And so that's it for announcements. After service, remember to stop by Savvy House Coffee Bar and grab your favorite beverage and then head over to the Coffee Clutch with Anita today. Thank you so much.
All right. No Savvy House today. Late breaking announcement from Lonnie, who's still here, by the way. She never went home. That's right. Hey, and how about a little appreciation for Deb? So, you know, Rev E and Rev Kev have been gone, and guess who's holding it all down this time? It is Deborah. Thank you so much, Deborah. We really appreciate it, and what we appreciate is that you're so cheerful and joyful about it. Yeah, don't talk. Yes, just like now. Right. All right. And so we come to the close of our service today. I hope you've had a great time. I hope you have something to take home today, a message to take home. And we would like to close with our benediction song, which is also a Rev Charles original.
You and you, we all belong to God's infinite Shine.